Welcome to the show, this the group chat sound. Down the bayou where the light shine proud. Golden Meadow, the roast, Thibodaux fight. E.D. White, 6 war, bringing heat tonight. Bayou Blue, Lockport, line it up strong. Middle school grind where the future belongs.
Hope everybody's having a wonderful day. Let's rock and roll. It is the Group Chat Podcast. We are having a wonderful time so far. We're going to have so much to talk about today. We got call-in guests. We got Coach Roby with the Lockport Pirates middle school football team, the Parish Champion Lockport Pirates. We will have him on at around 7 o'clock. We got Derek Brunet at 7:30 for the victorious Golden Meadow Lions. And we've got Darby Bourgeois with Riley John's Blue Boot Foundation and also with the Lockport Pirates. They use the Lockport dad this year. I know he's going to be fired up. Some tells me he's going to bring some energy at 8 o'clock talking about Lockport winning the Parish Championship. We want to thank all of our sponsors: Buzz Off Mosquito Control, Down South Cards and Bats, Lafourche Concert and Events Club, DTB Clothing, Riley John's Blue Boot Foundation, Martin's AC and Electric, Neil's Small Engine. If you need a lawyer, you better call Thibodaux Performance Automotive and Accessories. And, of course, last but not least, our sponsor of our Mount Rushmore, Precision Agri Spray. We thank them so much. Let's start off with our middle school stuff. I've been doing this since 2009. So you do the math, 16 years roughly. I have never in those 16 years ever at one time ever seen middle school be the talk of the town, be the thing that's drawing the numbers, be the thing that is like getting everybody hyped and psyched. Last night, the Bayou Sports platform was insane. People were going nuts watching this middle school stuff. We were having problems going live from Lockport at 6 o'clock on the dot. They were about to come to South Lafourche and assassinate me, wanting their live to be on. Relax. Like, this football game and this series of football games were big stuff, and the reaction and everything, all the, post-game hoopla was big stuff. And we'll break it down one game after the other. But, man, it's just crazy. They packed both sides of Central Lafourche's stadium yesterday. It was loud. It was rowdy. It was crazy. And I've never, like I said, in 16 years, seen a time where the main event of a football week in our area happens in the midweek in the middle school ranks. But there's nothing that's going to happen tomorrow or Friday in the high school ranks that's going to get near the attention or the clicks or the engagement that Lockport winning the Parish Championship yesterday did on the middle school side.
I was sitting in the stands at the LCO Golden Meadow game in South Lafourche and watching the Raceland Lockport game on my phone. And I'm watching it. I look up and I see pretty much everybody else is watching the Raceland Lockport game on their phones as well. At times there was over 400 people watching that game on YouTube. And LCO and Golden Meadow were in a great game, good close game. And we were all watching that plus the Lockport Raceland game too, because we wanted to see who was going to win the parish.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Middle school is king right now.
Congratulations to your hometown Lockport Pirates, Turtle, getting the Parish Championship. What's the vibe like in your hometown right now? Everybody excited?
They all getting ready for the parade this weekend. Everybody's decorating their yards and their houses and decorating their trucks and their golf carts and getting some fresh haircuts. And everybody's excited for the victory parade. And I'm not joking here. I mean, I'm 37. I'm not that old, not that young anymore. But I personally don't ever remember living through a Lockport Parish Championship, not even a successful Lockport season. And not being mean, just being honest off of what I could remember. So really happy for the town, really happy for the people, the school, the student athletes, of course, and all their families. Good on them, man. For so many years of our lives right here sitting at this table, it was LCO or Golden Meadow. Every now and then, Raceland may sneak in. Every now and then, one of the Thibodaux sneaks in when it was East and West. And then once they merged them, then it was like, okay, Thibodaux's just going to dominate this thing from here on out. For Lockport to just come out of the shadows like this and dominate so many teams and then, win such a good, hard-fought game against Raceland last night, man. Congratulations. Happy for everybody involved.
I didn't get a chance to see all of it because I was calling, Golden Meadow and LCO and filming Golden Meadow and LCO. Raceland was up 8-0, and they were driving to try to go up 2 scores. And I'm thinking, like, okay, well, this is going to throw a monkey wrench into things. Lockport got a big stop, went down the field, scored, got the 2-point conversion, and the momentum just flipped. It's unbelievable how Lockport just kind of, I liken it almost like to a boxing match, like where Raceland won the first 4 or 5 rounds, then Lockport fought back, and then Lockport won the championship rounds, as they say. They got the late score inside of a minute, and then Raceland was driving late, and Lockport got the interception on the last play of the game to kind of seal it. Now, look, no shame to the Raceland quarterback. He was just trying to make a play. It was a Hail Mary the last play of the game. But kudos to the Pirates, man. Great performance from them. Great job by Coach Roby and his staff. Great job by those kids. And unbelievable season. The only undefeated in the parish.
First of all, congratulations to Lockport. Me and Casey were picking Raceland in that game. Damien was picking Lockport.
Was wrong.
Yeah, we'll come up here and we'll say we were wrong. Congratulations. Lockport proved to be the best team in the parish. Beat everybody. No questions asked. Lockport, Parish Champions. Congratulations. That game was tight the whole time. And then finally, Raceland went up 8. Lockport came back in the fourth quarter, got that touchdown, did an awesome job on defense, stopping Raceland, forcing them to put out their own end zone, got good field position, and Lockport almost lost a fumble off of a snap. Fought through that, got the ball down the field, and who was it that scored the winning touchdown? Was it
quarterback Wiley?
Yeah, Wiley. Awesome job by him. I think he had both touchdowns for him.
Yeah, and look, man, crazy things happening in Lafourche. I've never seen this happen either, where we have every team in the parish had a different record. And it was literally all one game separating everybody. Lockport was 7-0. Thibodaux was 6-1. Raceland 5-2. E.D. White 4-3. Golden Meadow 3-4. LCO 2-5. Sixth Ward 1-6. Bayou Blue 0-7. Every single, it was like literally a ladder. 0 wins, 1 win, 2 win, 3 wins, 4 wins, 5, 6, 7. I've never seen that before. That's nuts. And then you feel for Raceland. They went into the game last night having a chance, a very good chance, even having a lead in the second half of winning a big old share of the Parish Championship. And then they, with the way that the result ended, they don't even get runner-up with Thibodaux beating E.D. White. So kudos to them on a great season, but I'm sure it was a very heartbreaking and disappointing night for Coach Wiltz and his guys last night.
If you look at the graphic posted by Bayou Sports, sponsored by DTV Clothing.
Yeah, buddy.
It's Lafourche Middle School standings. If you look at it, there's 8 teams. The last place team, the 7th place team, 6th Ward, 1 win, came against the 8th place team. The 6th place team, LCO, their 2 wins came against the 7th and 8th place team. The 5th place team, Golden Meadow, their 3 wins came against the 6th, 7th, and 8th place team. And on and on and on. So the exact order, everybody underneath them is the teams that they beat.
The standings were perfect.
Yeah, that is perfect standings. There's no question who's the best.
Vegas couldn't have called it any better than that.
That's really remarkable how it fell.
No need for a Chauncey Billups X-ray machine. We got it figured out. Congratulations again to Lockport. Look, let's talk about this. Golden Meadow gets off the schneid. They had not beaten LCO since 2020, the COVID year. That was the year that Nick Coleman was playing running back. I think Golden Meadow actually might even won Parish that year. Like, they were really, really good that year. I believe they had Josh Mack at quarterback that year. They do get the 14-6 win last night. And it was a situation where early in the game, I'll be honest, I thought it was going to be a runaway. Golden Meadow scores the first play of the game, then gets a quick 3-and-out stop. And I'm like, oh, my goodness, this is going to be bad. LCO settles down. They get the game to half, 6-0. They score, make it 6-6. Then it's like, oh, okay, well, this is going to be maybe going the other way. But right after LCO scores, Golden Meadow comes right back. Hayden Guidry takes one to the house. Golden Meadow gets the 2-point conversion. They make it 14-6. And then from there, LCO's key. They had to stay ahead of the chains. They got behind the chains, weren't able to make it happen. Golden Meadow was able to run the rest of the clock out. Kudos to Coach Brunet and his staff. Kudos to those players. I know they were hungry to get that win, and they were able to get it. And one of the things that I really think is profound, because it's so easy to say, well, Lockport's 7-0, Raceland's 5-2, Central's going to kick the crap out of everybody in the future. I do think if you combine the Golden Meadow and LCO pieces, you got something to work with there. And I think BJ Young feels the same. I think he's kind of excited. You know, he likes some of those LCO linemen, some of those Golden Meadow linemen. He likes the skill guys both ways. And ultimately, look, elephant in the room, as happy as I am for Golden Meadow, and I am, I'm a Golden Meadow guy, LCO had some injuries too that definitely shifted that, and they got a little healthier, but not enough healthy to come away with the win last night.
It was good to see LCO playing so well last night. They had, like you said, they suffered some injuries throughout the season. Roddy Gisclair was out for a while. Katie Fonseca was out for a while. Brett Johnson's has been out. Grant Bychurch has been out. We got Roddy Gisclair and we got Katie Fonseca back, and they were big parts of the game last night. Victor, my son, told me the game plan going in. I mean, it's I don't know if it's much of a game plan. It's just what you need to do to try to beat Golden Meadow was to stop Carter Wayne play zones.
Yep.
So they keyed in on him. As much as you can for a running back, you can't really spy, but you can just not let him beat you as much as possible. And they did a good job of that. He didn't have a great game. He didn't break any long runs. He kind of just got first downs to win the game at the last drive. But number 3, what's his name? Hayden Guidry. That was by far the player of the game. That kid took that opening play up about 65 yards for a touchdown. He scored a touchdown on their one before last drive to take the lead. And we had no answer for him. But we talked about what were the keys to the game, and one was tackling. That was what I said last week. You got to be able to tackle. If you're not tackling, they're just going to run through you, both teams. Golden Meadow, as always, did a good job tackling. LCO, I thought, did a very good job as well. They made stops. They forced punts. And another thing, very good job by both punters.
Oh, goodness. For a middle school game, that was an unbelievable job.
No
punting.
issues with snaps. Cut the ball, kicked it, and flipped field every single time. So kudos to the punters. I know the LCO punter is 44. Can't think of his name right now. But we've had issues with snaps going over his head this season. By the last game, you want to get everything fixed. Perfect snaps, good punts, flip the field.
Yeah, no doubt. I thought it was a good performance. The community turned out. I thought it was great support. And Golden Meadow gets the big win. Kudos to them. They finished 3-4. LCO finishes 2-5. And now we look forward to the future where we got basketball and all that good stuff coming up. And we're going to keep bringing you the middle school's coverage because, as I was just bragging about on Bayou Sports, the people want to see it. I mean, we were chock-a-block last year, using a Cajun French term. We were loaded to the gills with people watching and engaging and wanting to tune in. We'd be remiss if we didn't shout out Thibodaux Middle. Thibodaux Middle School had an opportunity to get their hands on a piece of the Parish Championship last night. They needed to beat E.D. White. They needed Raceland to beat Lockport. They did their part. They got a win against E.D. White 20-13. They were not able to get the help that they needed. If Raceland would have beat Lockport, we would have had a big 3-way tie with everybody being 6-1 and everybody having beat the other. But a great season for Thibodaux. They finished 6-1. And literally, you talk about game of inches, they were like a centimeter away in that overtime game against Lockport from winning that game. And that's ultimately going to end up being what turned it away. So kudos to Thibodaux on a great season, but Lockport just did a little bit more.
E.D. White turned it on at the end of the season. If they would have started their season off how they finished it, that could have changed how things ended up playing out. But yeah, there's no question. There was a top tier of teams, and there was a mid tier of teams, and there was a bottom tier of teams, and it's not usually in that order. So it was good to see a little change in the parish. But I think football, there's a lot of good football players all over this parish, and it's good to see them playing so well at the middle school level.
Now let me ask you guys this, and look, it's hard for us to sit here and complain when we literally just went over the fact that the standings were perfect, like as perfect as it could be. But how fun would it be if next Tuesday we had Lockport facing E.D. White and Thibodaux facing Raceland, the winners of those two games then facing one another in a Super Bowl? Like, how fun would that be, knowing that when Lockport played E.D. White, it came down to the last play. When they played Raceland, it came down to the last play. When they played Thibodaux, it came down to the last play. Knowing that gap from 1 to 4 is so narrow, how fun would it have been if we could have gotten our 4-team playoff this year?
I don't understand why it's not a thing. I don't know what's taking so long. But, yeah, you talking more attention on these kids, more fun for these kids, more money for the schools. So win. I don't understand what we're waiting for. All I'm going to say is win one more time, but with a question mark. When is this going to happen?
Yeah, I sure hope that that's something that we could get in the very, very near future so that we could celebrate these kids, celebrate their accomplishments, and continue to, further promote what they're doing. And look, we look forward, as we said, to moving into basketball season. Damian will be joining us in just a second. He's actually doing some basketball tryout stuff right now, getting his Golden Meadow Middle School team ready to go. And we can't wait. Congratulations again to Lockport. We'll have Coach Roby on in just a second.
Lockport Raceland game, I think it was Dex Aber. It was, I believe, in the third quarter, and he was down for a while.
Darby's going to know. That's his godson, so he's going to know. I
haven't heard anything about Dex. Dex is an awesome kid. Had him on our AAU basketball team a couple of years ago. Dude's a stud for basketball and football.
I certainly hope he's okay. No doubt. You hate to see anything like that. And same thing with the Gilbo boy for Golden Meadow. I know he ended up walking off the field, but I don't know if he ended up coming back into the game. So, we'll see if everybody's all right. And we certainly hope that everybody will be okay. And I wonder, and maybe you'll know, some of these LCO guys that were lost for the season on the football side, are they expected back for basketball? Do they play basketball? Like, are they going to be out the whole rest of the school year? Like, what are we expecting there? Do you know?
Grant Bychurch, probably the best basketball player at LCO, got hurt in, I think it was the Jamboree, like way back in August or whatever it was. And he actually is cleared to play as of, I believe, yesterday. He just they didn't put him in, like, he didn't dress out for the football game. Okay. But he will be good to go for basketball. Not sure about Brett. I don't think Brett even plays basketball. Just seeing Brett and Grant throwing the ball, like, while the rest of the team's in a huddle, we're sitting in the crowd. Brett is just chucking the ball 40, 50 yards down the field to Grant. And it's like, this was our running back. Maybe we could have got this guy out there throwing the ball. That would have been pretty nice. But I mean, the kids, his brother was a very good quarterback. Brett's a very good quarterback. And if he could have been back, I think that, I mean, I'm not saying we would have beat Golden Meadow, so don't start your trash.
I didn't say nothing.
Damian is probably going to clip this and edit himself in there arguing. But having Brett Johnson last night and having Grant Bychurch there last night, I would have loved to see it because those two boys are two playmakers, and that would have been interesting to see.
We're going to get Jacob Roby of the Lockport Pirates to join us here. I can't imagine that he's anything but jacked the bleep up about the way his team performed and, the community response and everything surrounding everything that's going on with the team. So we'll see if we could get Coach Roby squared away.
And if he's not jacked up, I guarantee you at 8 o'clock when Bourgeois calls in, he'll be jacked up, and that's going to be some entertainment.
Bro, he's going to bust in the door and join us live. Watch.
Darby's going to be fired up. Yeah. Coach Roby, you are on live with the Group Chat Podcast, brother. How we doing, sir?
Doing good, man. How are you?
Good. This is Casey Gisler here. We're chatting with Coach Roby of the Lockport Pirates, the Parish Champion Lockport Pirates. I know that feels really good to hear. Tell me about it, brother. It's been, I'm sure, a crazy and wild 24 hours. Let's talk about it.
It's been absolutely crazy. That's for sure. But yeah, that game, man, that was a fight. And first off, I need to give it up to Raceland. That was a great football team, man. Very tough and physical. Great athletes all over the field. Coach Wiltz and his staff did an amazing job preparing for us and getting their guys ready to play. It was just a dominant team, man. Like, I think it's 8 points they allowed all year up until last night. And we found out real quick why. They came out and punched us in the mouth and made it hard for us in the first half, for sure. They came out with a six-man front, which is something we were not expecting. We were expecting a 5-3 like they had showed in the previous games. They came out and punched us in the mouth at first and made it very difficult for us. But kind of like the story's been all year long, our defense played lights out. They did give up a touchdown in the second quarter, I believe it was, a touchdown pass. But after that, they were lights out. On offense, we were having some success running up the middle, but just couldn't really sustain drives. And in the second half, things kind of turned our way. We got the ball in the second half. In our first drive, we went 4 plays, 4 and out. We tried it on fourth down. It didn't go for it. And actually, on that fourth down play, one of our best players, Dexter Hebert, suffered a concussion. I talked to him today at school, though. I think he's going to be all right. But we were worried. We were worried about him there for a minute. After that first possession, our defense made another great stop. Raceland themselves went 4 and out, and we got the ball back, and we just kept pounding the middle, relying on our offensive line, and they got the job done for us, and we got in the end zone
Walk me through the final stretches. You guys go ahead inside of a minute. Raceland, you know they're not going to go down without a fight. They hit a big, long pass, get into range, and then you guys get the pick. You guys have been through this stuff throughout the course of the year, been in several close games, overtimes, whatever. But, man, what was going through your mind in those final seconds when you punch one in? I'm sure the mood is extreme excitement, but it's also, hey, like, this game is not over. And then when they finally hit the long pass, like, I'm sure it went from excitement to nervous back to excitement, and that pendulum just kept swinging.
Oh, yeah, it was like that all game. We knew Raceland can score in seconds, so it definitely the game was not over until there was all zeros on the clock. But even kind of going before that, our defense had a fumble recovery on a bad snap, and our offense got it inside our own 30. And that's when we were able to take the lead, we were able to punch it in. On the ensuing kickoff, our kicker made a clutch kick. He got it inside their own 20, which is rare to see, in a middle school game. So they had to go a long way. There was a few flags. They ended up getting pushed back inside their own 5, and they ended up punting. We get the ball back and continue to pound it up the middle with Elite Coy, and we call for Noah Wiley on that last touchdown run to put us ahead. And, yeah, like you're talking about, those like 30 seconds left, and we knew, in any second these guys can score. They have some guys that can catch. We know Chase Foray is a great passer. And so, yeah, it was definitely nerve-wracking, but it was awesome when Noah Wiley came up with that game-sealing interception for sure.
I didn't even realize that. How fitting, man. Like, he's such a leader in that whole campus in your locker room, and your quarterback makes the dang game-winning interception. Dude, how fitting is that?
Very, very fitting.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's unbelievable. Look, man, your first year coaching the team, we knew you guys were going to be improved because we knew you guys had a lot coming back. But I don't know that anybody was necessarily filling out their cards in the preseason saying, hey, we think Lockport's going to win the Parish. And I really think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think you guys kind of fed off of that all year. Like, hey, y'all want to doubt us? Okay, let's see. And I think that kind of was one of your MOs all year, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. We kind of thrive in that underdog role. And so we played that underdog role up until the very end. That was definitely a motivation for our kids to go out there and prove themselves week in and week out. And it's just been amazing to see them and what they've accomplished, how they've responded to all of that, for sure.
Parade coming on Sunday. I mean, when was the last time you could say a middle school team's getting a championship parade, dude? It just shows the community support and how everybody's rallied. Like, what was it like on campus today? Like, I got a feeling, yeah, I'm sure school went on that schedule, but I'm sure it was maybe a little bit more relaxed than normal. I'm sure you guys were having some fun on campus today, right?
Oh, yeah, it was electric. When the kids came in, walking down the halls, the teachers had these big confetti poppers, popping them off, and yeah, it was electric, man. It was an awesome day at school. That's kind of what, a good football season will do for your entire school, is kind of set the tone for that entire school year. So I'm hoping that's the case with this year, and we have a great year in the classroom as well.
And look, bro, one of the things that really I thought was cool is I saw a lot last night, even from the Lockport fans and also some of the Raceland fans as well, is that like, hey, man, this is awesome. Congratulations to Lockport. But we still got a greater mission here, which is to like further turn around this Central Lafourche high school football program and like make them an annual playoff contender and all that. And it feels like this is a group of kids that could very much so do that when you combine them together. So I'm sure one of the messages last night was, hey, soak it all in, but also your journey is not finished yet.
Yeah, that was a big thanks to Coach Shelly Vadros. We got the 8th graders in the middle of the field after the game, and he came and gave some inspiring words to them, both Raceland and our guys, and just, letting them know, like, from now on, you guys on the football field, next time you strap it up, are going to be teammates. They got some words from Coach Porter Zarang, who's going to be their 9th grade coach as well. And yeah, I'm with you. I think this is going to be a great group, and I'm really excited to see what they'll be able to accomplish at Central for sure.
Before Coach Pop got him, what was your message? What was your final, message to the guys to let them know how proud you were of them during the course of the season?
Just said, man, we did it. We've been working so hard since June 2nd. We started our off-season conditioning program, and just to kind of get them to see, this is what happens when you put in hard work. You get results. If you work hard, the results will come. And so that's a lesson they can apply not only to the football field, but also to their life as well.
Do you coach anything else at the school? Like, do you do track or anything like that?
No, sir. Just football.
So I'm sure, like most of the middle school coaches, like or do some of the other sports. So they'll say after football, yeah, it's a little bittersweet, but I'll still have them in basketball, or have them in track or whatever. For you, last night was the last time you have the full band together. You'll see them around campus. You'll follow them all the way through Central, but last night is the last time that locker room will be all the way full, and you'll have that full crew. I'm sure it is, as excited as you are, I'm sure it is a little bit bittersweet too, right?
Oh yeah, man. I'm certainly gonna miss that 8th grade group. It's such a great group of kids. I had the pleasure to be their teacher in the classroom, as their 7th grade ELA teacher, and also as their coach on the football field. And so I've had two wonderful years with those guys. And all of them, man, they're polite kids. They're extremely intelligent, just respectful group of kids. You're right. I'm gonna miss them so much.
When did you guys realize? Was it in the preseason? Was it in the summer when you were working out? When did you guys as a staff or you as a head coach realize, okay, this is a group that if things go right, it could be a really special group? When did when that light bulb kind of go off?
I think it kind of went off when we put the pads on. You really don't really know exactly what you have at the beginning. We thought we had a chance to be good. We thought we had a chance to compete every game. But once we put the pads on and we saw how these kids hit and how much they've grown and how stronger they got since last year, that's when we kind of were like, man, yeah, this could be our year. So I would say it was like that first week of practice when we put the pads on and we started live hitting and saw the intensity that they came with and just the improvement that everybody made. It was just from the offensive line on the offensive side to the running backs that we had, the receivers. It just was solid all around. And then our defense has been playing lights out since the first day we put pads on. So, yeah, I would say then.
I want you to do me a favor here. Obviously, we know a lot of your players. We know a lot of your personnel. The people that don't get talked about, shout out your assistant coaches and shout out your managers. I'm putting you on the spot. Nobody ever talks about the assistant coaches and the managers. They've been there every day. Shout out those men and women and let everybody know who they were.
Oh, yes, sir. I feel like I have the best coaching staff on the Bayou, no doubt. Mr. Jacob Roby. He's a former head coach on the Bantam level, and he's helped me out so much just with the different head coaching tasks, day-to-day stuff, game management. He's been in my ear on the sidelines, every game. Coach Ryan Narcan, I kind of let him take the defense. I don't really mess with what he wants to do. That's kind of his baby right there, and just kind of let him do what he wanted to do, and he did a fantastic job this year, and looking forward to having him again next year. And we were talking about basketball. He's also the basketball coach here too, so he's got another season to go with those guys. I know he's excited about that. They started basketball today. Also had Mr. Charles Foss, also did a great job with us, man. Helped me out with the offensive side, the passing game, and he was awesome with our special teams. He kind of let him control that aspect of the game. We also had Cohen Champagne, another young guy, recent graduate from Central Lafourche, and he's played all over the field, and he's got so much experience, and he's just kind of helped us out wherever we needed. I don't see us winning the championship without those guys.
Off the top of your head, do you guys have any managers that were with y'all on a day-to-day basis?
Oh, yeah, we had Liam Trigg and how can I forget Dylan Day?
There you go. All right.
Dylan Day and Liam Trigg. Yes, sir.
Perfect. No doubt, brother. Look, y'all got any questions for Coach? Think y'all good? Hey, Coach.
Oh, man, just a congratulations, Coach. Happy for you.
Yeah, Coach,
you,
congratulations. Hope we gave y'all enough bulletin board material because me and Casey
both picked Raceland. Yeah.
So hopefully that helped y'all. I don't know if you told that to the boys. Stop talking to Darby. It seemed like that might have been mentioned. But just congratulations, you guys. You proved that you are the parish champion, no doubt.
Thank you, guys.
Yep. Congratulations, dude. And enjoy that parade Sunday. Y'all be safe. Y'all have a blast. Soak it all in, brother.
All right. Thank y'all.
Yep, that's Coach Roby. We appreciate his time, doing a great job with those boys, and season of a lifetime, dude. The last time it happened, I believe, was in the late 80s.
I think it was 88 on Facebook.
So I was one. Turtleneck was, were you born yet?
In July of 88.
It's a long time.
So you know the town of Lockport is buzzing when UPS guy, my guy, Corey Falls, can't wait to have Corey Falls back, but my replacement guy came into the shop the other day. I was working, and he said, "Hey, bro, can you help? Can you do me a favor?" And I'm thinking, okay, what this guy needs. And he says, "On your podcast, can you be a little more positive about Lockport?" Here you go. Congratulations, Lockport, and they got the UPS community on their side.
Hey, I got a serious question. I'm not making fun. It's a serious question. Does anyone know, where did the phrase "sport de Lockport" originate?
What is that? I keep seeing that on Facebook.
Yeah, it is all over Facebook. I have no idea.
I mean, I heard it all the time growing up.
What exactly is sport de Lockport?
Well, Mr. St. Pierre, how we doing?
I was listening to Coach Roby's interview, and he did a very good job. I'm happy for Lockport. I don't know if I could ever have said that before in my 42 years of existence. I'm pumped up for them. I was kind of a closet Lockport fan whenever they started having some success, and I'm happy for them. Live it up. Have your parades, do what you got to do, and, hopefully you could build on that success because obviously did a tremendous job. But I was impressed last night, and I was in Casey Gisclair's control room last night. I was watching every game at the same time. Appreciate Bayou Sports for bringing that to the community. And I texted Coach Roby this afternoon. Very much a never give up type of team. They had an opportunity to probably just lay in and Raceland had some big plays that they stopped. The defense was kind of bend but don't break type of defense last night, and I was proud of them. They stopped a train in Raceland that had a distinct size advantage, and game plan and just sheer will got them to the Parish Championship, an undefeated season, and you can never take that away from them.
No doubt. So kudos to them. Great job by them last night, and I hope they have a wonderful parade. Something tells me that thing's going to be wild on Sunday. Like a Mardi Gras atmosphere, and it should be, man. That's an unbelievable accomplishment. Anytime you do something that hadn't been done in almost 40 years, it should be celebrated. We're ready to get Darby on.
Yeah, I don't know if we're ever ready, but it's going to happen.
But something tells me the next segment of the show with Mr. Bourgeois is going to be a little bit entertaining. Something tells me he might be a little bit excited about Lockport winning the Parish Championship. Just a smidge excited.
He got a Gatorade shower last night.
Oh, did he? I didn't realize that.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to have to ask him what led to that. But
Darby's
definitely got
field.
I know he usually does a chain.
He's usually a chain gang.
Oh, the chain. That might have been the first ever chain gang Gatorade bath. Congratulations, Darby.
He sent me some videos just now of his Lockport Pirate podcast, and he was fired up.
Need that same energy.
Oh, yeah. I think he's going to be excited. I think he's going to be fired up to talk about the Pirates. We're going to get Darby in just a second. We're having a good time tonight, you guys. We really are. Now that middle school football is over, a little bit more of a calm schedule for me, but Damien's going to be the one that's going to be in the thick weeds now with basketball and everything. So we're going to try to stay on a more regular routine, but I think we go to the phone lines now, and we got one of our advertising sponsors with Riley John's Blue Boot Foundation, and also the host of the Lockport Football Podcast, Mr. Darby Bourgeois. Darby, what's good, man? How we doing?
Pirate Nation's alive, baby. Strong and well right now.
Darby, I'm going to just ask the elephant in the room question right out of the gate. How in the hell does a guy who's not even an assistant coach or whatever get a Gatorade bath after the game?
Well, brother, man, it's a touchy situation. As you heard, my godchild went down with a slight concussion, and I was first one on the field to witness it, and my wife came down because she's in the medical field just looking at him. And you know what? I started firing up them guys on the sideline. Coach Charles Falls looked at me and said, "Stay your butt right here, boy." So I said, talk to these guys. And, bro, honestly, man, through God's work, I watched every one of them 8th graders come to Dex on the bench and said, "We doing this for you." I could see the tears running on those kids' eyes, and I was so fired up. I was pumping them up. I was crying. It was just an amazing event. And looking at you turn around and said, "Dex, look at the stands, brother. Look at the people here cheering you guys on." It was a packed house. I mean, Raceland brought some energy as well from the football field. And lo and behold, at the end of the game, some fan comes out the stands, grabs his name's Ben Petrie, grabs a tub of water and throws it on me. I'm like, holy shit. I said, "Do my phone." He said, "My brother think the waterproof right now." So that's how that shit went down.
Okay, fair enough. We got the answer. And look, on a more serious note, is Dex doing okay? Concussion, I'm sure that's going to take a little while, but he's doing okay.
Yeah, man, he's doing great. He actually had basketball tryouts, which obviously he didn't try out. He went sit down and just watch him in the stands and checked on him a couple of times today. He just rested in his room, but he's gonna come alive, brother. He's good.
Good. Super happy to hear that, dude. Look, tell me about this. you got to be proud. I know that you've been on the Lockport train all season. You said that after the first game of the year, you just kind of made a bold prediction in your head. It's going to be that year for Lockport. They chipped away. They got a bunch of close wins. And lo and behold, last night, they were the last team standing, the only undefeated, bro. You got to be so super proud.
Man, you know that. Look, I'm a Downabye guy. I'm a Galliana guy. I went to Golden Meadow, but, my son's on the team. And like I said, Dex is my godchild. He's a star on the team. And we live here and, we support the local, community. And I just took wind of it. And I've seen them practice, all year. And I just knew they had it. I mean, we talk about Noah Wiley being a leader and just seeing the energy they brought it. My boy coming home after practice and Dad did this, Dad, we're doing this. I'm like, wow, y'all doing a little more than we ever done in the middle school era. And I just knew they had that capabilities of winning. But once we went to the, the up the Bayou Redbirds, like I keep on saying, all the hype was on them. They lost 2 of their studs against us late in the game, number 5 and number 7. They didn't even play against Raceland. Y'all didn't know that, but we knew that. And, we just knew Raceland in the season would be a tough matchup for us. But I just knew, I said, after that game, and I seen them, how fired up they were, I said, we're on this train, on this pirate ship, and we're going to keep on rolling, baby. And we did.
It's unbelievable the amount of support those boys had last night. And you mentioned it too. Raceland did their part. The stadium was packed. And it was a high school atmosphere in a middle school game. And then, everybody down the bayou at Golden Meadow and LCO was watching it on YouTube. Everybody up the bayou in Thibodaux was watching it on YouTube. Very rarely does middle school steal the stage. Those boys stole the stage last night, dude.
It was crazy. I mean, you had all these older guys from Lockport. I kind of know now. And they're talking about the last time the visitor side was that packed was in 96 when Central played West Jeff and Central ended up winning. I'm telling you, it was packed. I mean, a little empty spot there was where our band was at playing. And all week, Ben Bordelon went Monday, talked to the team and fired the team up, and promised them if they win, they're going to get a free shirt and a free meal. So, man, they came home and they were fired up about that. And then before the game, Coach Paul Petrie, that had the 2 previous undefeated seasons, he went talk to the team and, gave all it to God and said, look, guys, y'all could do this. And just to hear him talk to the team and bring back his old stories and they prevailed, man. And it was awesome all year. Like you said, they were down in the dumps sometimes and they just overcame adversity and they stuck with it and they played, every minute, every second of every game and they executed the plays when they needed to.
Darby, the wily kid. We had Coach Roby on earlier in the show, and he's such a stud, man, and he's such a great kid. He gets a touchdown inside the last minute, and I didn't even realize until Coach Roby told us, of course he gets the interception on the last play of the game. You've been watching ball a long time. That kid's just built different, man.
Look, I'm going to tell you, him and Dex is best friends. I see him. I live next door to Dex, and I've been seeing Noah. I work with his daddy. This kid is going to be something special. I keep telling people he'll be a D1 athlete. Just to see him play and grow as a young man and, just see how passionate he is about the sports. Look, baseball to me is his best sport.
Yeah.
He hits dingers all day. He got a rocket of an arm. But football-wise, he knows that, when you play in that safety position, from coming from the quarterback, he knows where the ball's going and the play's going. And he ain't afraid to come up and hit. And, at times in the season, we were scared that he would get hurt because last year he had a couple of injuries. But this year, we just, praise God, he didn't get injured. And he was the difference in the team this year, no doubt about it. And we happy for the Lockport Pirates and Noah.
What is going to be the plans on Sunday? Obviously, the big community celebration, the little parade. You guys are going to do it big. I already know. What should we expect on Sunday out there as you guys are celebrating the season that ended in the championship?
As a family, my little boys played in Hammond baseball, so hopefully we lose our first game Sunday morning if I can make it back. I don't really want to lose, but look, hey, bud, I want to come back to the parade because this is history, brother. You're going to be talking about this for the rest of your life. You were part of this team. You didn't get much playing time. You got some up duty, but you practice. I see you come home with blues, and I want you to be at this parade, bro. So hopefully, we play with a team that's way better than us on Sunday. But just talking to my neighbor and everybody else, everybody's fired up and. We was ordering cups, Parish Champions, and then we get an email saying, we can't be throwing stuff off of the trucks, off the floor. So it's going to be just a hot wave and scream kind of thing, a little music, but it's going to be electric, man. Even Rouse was emailing the dental office in Lockport. They emailing ready to have a good time. So it's going to be awesome.
That's really cool, man. And look, shifting gears just a smidge. Let's talk a little bit about the rodeo next summer. I know you guys are already planning that. It's miles and miles away, but with an event that big, you got to plan it year-round. Tell us about the one this past summer, how successful it was. And, obviously, I'm sure you guys are starting to kick up the dust and get preparations for 2026.
No doubt about it. I talk to you about that all the time. And, looking forward to, once again, have Tommy Thibodaux out there and his crew, and hopefully they can make a good fishing trip offshore this year. But, yeah, man, we did well. It was one of our best year again this year. Like you said, we planned it. We already geared up with the LSU players. We got some new guys on board this year, designing the cleats right now. And we're just looking as a community, and, we asking, what more can we do to help you guys out? And we partnered up with different people now. We had another golf tournament. Dylan Cruz was there, and we're just continuing to grow as far as saving lives. And we want to get to the New Orleans area and, get to some YMCAs out there and do what we do in Homer, and just reach out to the young families and even the older ones that don't know how to swim. And that's going to be our motto for this year: help as many more people as we can. So we're really, truly blessed and honored that, it's a community that supports us from year one. And, you guys coming out there and then continuing to talk about it. And it means a lot, just seeing our logo on these YU sports events. And it's a testament to Riley that he's still saving lives. And our family, we're truly blessed, and the Blue Boo family as well. We love you guys, and we love everybody that supports us.
Well, we love you too, brother, man. And look, I can't even imagine, like, when you're watching an MLB game with the family and Dylan Cruz is playing, or you're watching an LSU game or whatever, and they're wearing the blue boot cleats, and, like, it gives me the frissons. I can't even imagine what it does for you guys. That's got to just be the best feeling in the world, man.
As a young kid, you growing up and, I want to play at LSU and I want to do this and I want to do that. And to see my little boy run the bases around Alex Box with them cleats is just, it's a testimony that I can't explain, man. It's just so awesome. I'm tearing up now. And the first time they wore them cleats, Gavin Dugas hits a home run to start the game. Tommy Tanks ends it on a walk-off home run. I'm like, Riley was there. The Angels were there in heaven. And no doubt about it. And it means so much to us that still to this day that they're not even at LSU and they're part of our family, man. It's awesome.
That's unbelievable, dude. Look, I know you were not a Brian Kelly fan. I know you were probably pretty happy to see the news that he's not there. Who does Darby Bourgeois want as the blue boot hire over there at LSU?
Bro, let me tell you right now, ain't nobody happy. Everybody that was on the bandwagon of Brian Kelly, now like, Darby, you were right. And look, I'm not the one to argue with coaches, but I do have my peace of mind. And, like everybody saying, Nick Saban, Lane Kiffin. I just had the ultimate Joe Brady, not the offensive coordinator guy, the Latelco guy just Brian Kelly is going to Wisconsin. And let me go look at my text and see who he says is going to be the coach. I was like, man, Joe, I want you to go be the offensive coordinator out there, dude. And
the Latelco guy.
And look, it really don't matter, Casey. I just want somebody to bring the culture back to LSU, bring the LSU fight. We don't have anybody that on defense that you fear anymore. You had the LaRon Landry, the Jamal Adams. We don't have them kind of guys anymore. So let's bring the culture back and let's get everybody back. Not leaving the stands in the second quarter. And I think you've got a young, fiery guy that just, brings some enthusiasm to the game and gets a good offensive scheme. I think we'll be all right at LSU, man.
I hear you, and I agree with that 100%. And look, you guys are obviously going to keep that relationship with the LSU baseball side going. What you make of the Tigers? A lot of people are saying, hey, man, could maybe be back-to-back, a very talented team coming back in Baton Rouge.
I ran into Jake Brown at one of the last LSU games, and he said, man, Darby, he said, we're going to be stacked, pitching staffs, on point again this year. And he said, look, we could definitely repeat. And, as players, they don't want to talk about that. But, as a fan, you ask that question. And John Pearson as well, I talked to him. He came to the tailgate, and they're really fired up about this year. And they think really they could back up in Omaha. So it's going to be a fun year to be a Tiger. That's for sure for baseball.
If you're able to make it to the parade on Sunday, what's the chances we get one of the famous Darby Bourgeois toe touches?
Man, I want to tell you, since Tarpon Rodeo, I did it, and I messed up my knee, but I'm starting to feel better. Hey, I'm going to throw a little toe touch for Casey just there out there.
Please do, but take care of yourself. I don't want to be responsible for a blown-out knee, so please take care of yourself.
No, you know that. And look, get back to the Pirates, man. Look, it's the community. It was so awesome to see last night. And then players, they came together. And, you and Nick picked the Raceland Cubs to win the game. So you had 21 eighth graders that knew about everything that y'all said. So look, in the first half, our sales were half mast. But come late in the game, we full mast that sale. We told them, hey, let's go show them what we are about, and that's what they did, man. We were fired up about it after the game, bro.
There's one person on this panel that picked Lockport, and that's me. That's me.
That'll boy, D. St. Pierre.
Hey, glad we can give you some bulletin board material. Y'all made a believer out of me. I'm sure you made a believer out of Casey too. Congratulations.
100%.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me. Look, and give you something to build on. Coach Roby is an awesome teacher. He's an awesome coach. You don't get excited in the moment. He's a very smart guy. You could see him on the sideline, predicting the next play. And with a real coach, that's what you should do. And I gave him on my podcast, I gave him the game ball. He did an amazing job this season. And look, we're going to be not as good as next year, but it's going to be something to build on. And, I think we're going to have something to look forward to.
Hey, there you go.
Darby, we need to team up on the podcast. We got the production value. Like, we could get all that out to everybody. You just send us some files. We could work on that, bro. We got you back on that.
Oh, I love it. I'll do that for you, brother. And again, bro, I appreciate you all having and talking about Blue Boot as well. And we couldn't be more thankful for you guys to giving me an opportunity.
Oh, you got Thibodaux on the line.
Hey, Thibodaux, what you say, Big Daddy?
Hey, official lawyer of Lafourche Parish here, Tommy Thibodaux. I got a question. So I know you're going to get a Lockport Parish Champs banner made to hang up at Blue Boot. Is that going to go next to the Real American banner for Best Dress / Best Team Award banner that's going to get placed this year?
We could color code that and put it right next to yours as well, brother.
I figured that. I appreciate it. I just want to make sure that we're going to get proper placement.
I know where you're going with that. We're going to have to move with what we had last year, right?
Yep. I appreciate that. There we go. Lockport, Parish Champs. Got it.
And Tommy, thanks for supporting us every year, bro. We look forward to getting them the beer koozies out there, everybody. And just coming out there and support us, bro. It's awesome.
Darby, thank you so much, dude. Be good. Y'all be safe this weekend. Love you, brother. Take care, man.
Woo! Lockport Nation, baby.
There you go, man.
The boys in the back fired up.
There we go.
See y'all later, boy. Have a good night.
Yep, you too.
Y'all too.
That's our buddy Darby Bourgeois doing a great job. As always, he knew he would be fired up. I hope sincerely, no disrespect to the kid, but I hope their baseball team loses on Sunday so they can make the parade, because I want to see the toe touch. I want to see the party, and I want to see the kids having a great time. That's going to be awesome. And he hit the nail on the head. The community took it by storm, took the ball and ran with it. And it was awesome to see.
Love to see that you and Nick's picks made the bulletin board there.
Kiss of death.
Love it. Yes.
I was about to say, it's more his fault than mine at this point.
I said my kiss of death would be Indiana beating UCLA, trying to jinx them, but my kiss of death actually maybe have jinxed the Racing Cubs.
Sorry, Coach Wiltz. Apologize for that. You could blame this man right here.
I stuck with Lockport all year, man. That was my team.
Let's talk about next year, middle school. A lot of people are saying that their team's going to be down next year because they lose some A graders. I feel like that happens every year. You always think, oh man, this group of A graders was great. Next year we might, what's the cliche that the pantry is empty or whatever it is.
That was a Brian Curall thing. At the end of every season, They were never winning another game ever.
That's how I feel. I'm hearing that from different people I talk to about their school. Who do you think is the favorite?
Thibodaux.
That's what
Coach Riley came on here and talked about how young his team was, and they were really, really good this year.
I thought about that last night, and that kind of scared me. That all their not all their best players, but a lot of their players that we were talking about in our interview with him, he was saying, they coming back next year.
Quarterback's a 7th grade at stud. Number 0 in defense was a 7th grade. They're going to be head and shoulders the favorite. But there's always an elephant in the room, or like a fly in the ointment, because E.D. White replaces their whole team every year. So we got to see if they got a stud group of 8th graders next year, they could, obviously throw a monkey wrench in those plans as well. Can you imagine? Like, everybody else does get 40, 50, 60% of their team back. They lose 100% of their team every year. Now, granted, they replace it with nothing but 8th graders, so that's a big plus. But that's got to be a little different in that they have no underclassmen or anything to ever play in any game.
And it's nothing but 8th graders getting ingrained into a brand new culture, a brand new program. Like
they never have a second-year starter, like nothing. It's just 1 year.
Yeah.
No, they do a pretty good job of it.
Yeah, they make it work.
Yeah, they do. Nick, to your point, I think, and being ingrained in the middle school system for as long as I have been, I see a lot of kids from that 6th grade year grow a little bit to their 7th grade year, and then the 7th to 8th grade year, like just maturing as a person and physically as well. You always see in the little 7th grader or the little 6th grader in your mind as a coach, and then they come back. You know, I'm thinking, and I'll shout him out. Lolly Castillo is a guy that just comes to the forefront of my mind. Had him as a 6th grader. He was a little guy, and then he comes back as an 8th grader, and he's a grown man. He's a full adult. And just there's always that portion that coaches tend to overlook because I know I'm one of them.
Brandon's letting us know something we didn't realize. E.D. White has started to let some St. Joseph's and St. Genevieve 7th graders start to play. So there you go. They actually do have not a roster just full of 8th graders. That's good. I mean, it's their feeder school, so why not? So that's good to see and good to know. I was not aware that was something that they were doing out there. Over or under 75% chance that next year we have a playoff?
Over.
I think I think so too.
Nice to see.
I think it's coming. I don't know if it's going to come in all sports, because I think volleyball's pushing for it too. On the football side, I think we're gonna get it for sure, and I think it'd be awesome to see.
That needs to happen. We got 3 really, really good games last night, and we would have been gifted with 3 more in the next coming couple of weeks.
Damien, y'all have E.D. White on the basketball schedule?
Twice.
They're going to be good. Just let you know they're going to be good.
Let me guess, the Hildenbrand's a stud.
I mean, they that's the same group that was the Thibodaux Biddy 12-year-olds this year. That was the same group that was playing VC.
You were huge fans of theirs.
That's a good group of basketball players.
I wonder if they have a girls team this year. They didn't have one last year.
I don't know. This is a good question. I know I coached a couple of Vici kids that were going to be E.D. White. That's going to be a good question to find out.
It's kind of my concern.
So how's the Golden Meadow team looking this year, Damien?
We're talking boys or we're talking girls?
Talking boys, but
you tell me, I'll answer.
Because I know y'all lost some really good players with
we lost Charlie,
Lucas,
we lost Johnny,
and
we lost a lot of leadership, we lost a lot of scores. We're young. Just having open gym tonight led me to believe that we're really young. We're gonna probably have about 30% 6th graders on that team. We got a couple 8th graders that are probably gonna be starters. Lean a little bit. Not a lot on our 7th graders. I got some good playing time last year. They started to develop towards the end of the season that we're really happy about, and they're going to have to probably lead a lot of our game planning. To be honest, you want to talk about girls?
Yeah,
we're solid.
Got an ace up his sleeve.
Just keep talking on social media. We come.
Can you guys believe that in Terrebonne they don't let 6th graders play middle school? No matter how good they are, they're not allowed to play.
Even at Houma Junior High.
Yeah, not that I'm aware. I now maybe Houma Junior High is an exception, whatever. But I saw they were chatting about that on social media.
Like that in Thibodaux too, maybe.
Yeah, they were like, "Man, we really need to start letting 6th graders play middle school. We're losing a whole year of development." And then there's this long thread of like parents coming, "Yeah, that's bull. Like they don't let them do this, don't let them do." I didn't realize that. How foolish is that? Like just one whole year of school where you could play school ball, you just can't just cause.
Yeah, that's a little bit weird.
Is it like some kind of?
I think it's like just a parish rule. Like when they went to 6 to 8, they were like, nope, 7 and 8 only.
I'm just wondering, like, would their reason behind it? Like, are they trying to protect young, undeveloped brains from concussions, or what's the science behind that?
No clue. I think it's a very poor decision. I didn't realize that was something that was a thing. They're trying to get it changed. But
I could tell you from coaching the boys and the girls side, if that wasn't allowed in Lafourche Parish, we would be behind the 8 ball tremendously.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
On the girls side last year, I started 2 6th graders.
Oh, wow.
Just to think that just down the road, while we're bitching and complaining about a playoff, they've got some issues there too that frankly need to get changed. I mean, there's no reason for that to.
Brandon mentioned Bantam football. Look, I know social media, you get the absolute worst in youth sports, but I read something about them letting older kids play down and things like that. That's a freaking train wreck, bro.
Yeah, and Brandon's is talking about majority of 6th graders not ready. I don't know anything about football. I'm just talking about basketball. I know plenty of basketball 6th graders who have been more than ready to contribute in both parishes. Football, a little different. I get that. You don't want to have an 11-year-old that's 4'2", but I think it's up to a coach also to protect that kid and not have them out there getting destroyed and demolished. But anyway.
But it goes back to the development physically. That kid gets a bunch of practice reps, doesn't get in the game, whatever. You're ready for the next season.
I wish the Bantam leagues would have better relationships with the middle schools to get those 6th graders and 7th graders that don't really get on the field that much to be playing Bantam, where they can actually get on the field and play the majority of the game. Like, I think that would develop them a lot for when they are 8th graders and they're the guys on the team.
Well, think about it, y'all. Like when we were in middle school, then it was junior high, but it was 2 teams. There was a 7th and 8th grade team, and there was a JV and a varsity at junior high. Yep. We could never do that now. You mentioned a second ago, some of the teams don't even have one girls team. It's crazy how far it's fallen. Turtle, I'm sure LCO, you were part of the 7th and 8th grade team. And, I was the manager for the 7th and 8th grade team. And then you would, if you earned your stripes, you could be a 7th grader who played on the 9th grade team. But by and large, it was a JV and a varsity. And it would be like high school. The parish games would be a triple header. JV first, girls 9th grade second, boys 9th grade last. And you would play a triple header. Now you could barely even field, one team at a school.
Yeah. And then like the big LCO Golden Meadow showdown at South Lafourche, like
quadruple header. Yeah.
All 4 teams played. The first game was at like 4:00. The 7th and 8th grade girls would start. I mean, you were in for a long night.
Yeah. I know in the Keegan Polkey years at LCO, he used to put maybe 25 kids on the team. Is that something that we could possibly get back, like a 8th grade team, or maybe a 6th grade team and a 7th and 8th grade team, or a 6th and 7th grade team and an 8th grade team? Is that something that we could possibly do? Like, I don't know if Golden Meadow has the numbers to do that. I don't know if Lockport has the numbers to do that. I know LCO has the numbers to do that.
We specifically schedule certain schools that have those type of options. So we're playing 3 to 4 JV type of games this year. That helped out for development for the 6th and 7th graders. So we don't suit up any 8th graders for those games.
I think that's something that would help. I mean, it absolutely help out the development of the players.
And, Coach Polkey, you got a little flack about that, and it was 100% wrong because you're developing kids. That's the point of you coaching middle school basketball or middle school sports, developing kids. And if you take that many kids, you're going to develop that many kids that are going to be ready to play the next season.
Let's call it like it is. There's a percentage of kids that if they get cut their 6th grade year, they're never going back. So whether they develop or not, whether they, continue to play or not, they're never going back. So if you have a team with 25 kids on it, and even if the kid never plays unless if it's a 50-point game, but they're just out there at practice every day, honing their skills and working on their craft, and then that kid reaches a growth spurt and then suddenly is 6'2" as an 8th grader, and they've been in the system the whole time. Now you got something. Anytime more kids get a chance, it's better for everybody.
It doesn't help me, a kid that has the somewhat ability to play basketball as a 6th or 7th grader, to be sitting in the halls at school
100%.
Not doing anything. That doesn't help.
Let's go to the phone lines, and let's go to Coach Derek Brunet of Golden Meadow Middle School. Coach Brunet, what's good, man? How we doing today?
I'm doing great, guys. How are y'all doing this evening?
We're doing just fine, brother, but we're not doing as well as you were doing last night when you guys got that big dub against LCO. I'm sure it was a great feeling to get your first win against them as a head coach. And for the boys, man, they put in work since the summer. I know the ultimate goal is to win the Parish Championship, but secondary to that, you want to beat your rival. I'm sure you guys were super excited last night.
Yeah, absolutely. Super excited. It's just a testament, a credit to those young men and the hard work they put in, like you said, since the summer. We've been going at it since June 9th, so to see us be able to pull off a win against our rival for the first time in 5 years was very rewarding to see. And like you said, the goal is always you want to win a Parish Championship. Wins are nice and everything, but I think as a coach, the greatest reward for me in a season is seeing these guys not only grow as athletes, but growing as young men, seeing them mature and just turn into some great young man with a great character is truly, truly rewarding.
Derek, let me ask you this. You go into the bag of tricks on the first snap of the game. Was that something that you guys knew was going to be the first play call? Did you, wait to see how they were lined up? Like, what went into that call? Because, man, boy, you hit blackjack right out of the gate going with that little reverse play and getting a touchdown.
Well, that was our plan going into the game. That was the play call. But we had a check with me at the line. So what we did was we had the reverse call, but if LCO's defense wouldn't have shifted over to our strong side, we'd have just called a regular lead play and just left it at that. But when we saw them shift over, Jacob Davis looked over to the sideline. I gave him the thumbs up, and it was good to go. We had a good feeling they would anticipate Carter W getting the first carry. So we figured we'd try to take advantage of that and exploit that and maybe catch them out of position on a reverse, and it worked out. Credit to those guys. I mean, Carter W made a excellent handoff. He had 3 guys on him making the handoff. It was a clean exchange, and How about the excellent vision from Hayden Guidry, cutting it up at the perfect angle so that he could take it all the way to the house?
No doubt, dude. Hey, look, one of the things that I know you got to be proud of is they scored, they make it 6-6. And it feels like, okay, you know, Golden Meadow hasn't scored since the first play of the game. And, you know, it's kind of a little bit of a lull. LCO's now got a little momentum and they got this monkey on their back. They haven't beaten LCO. And like, it felt like the momentum was shifting. You guys calmly went straight right back down the field and took back control. I thought that was one of the most impressive things that you guys, frankly, have done all season, to just kind of take that punch, wipe the blood off your nose, and then just come right back swinging and go back and get it.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, after they scored and we were able to get that huge stop on their 2-point conversion, I knew right then and there that, you know what, guys, we got this. And let's not forget, we had the ball almost the whole second quarter, and we drove down the field. Now, you know, penalties killed us and field position and everything, and then we had a play that we'd like to get back where we had our tight end just going on a corner route wide open that we missed. But, I mean, we did good things in that second quarter moving the ball. So, as a coaching staff, we were very confident. And then seeing those boys on the sideline and getting our offense together, and I could see the look in their eyes that they were ready. They didn't flinch. They had nerves of steel, and we just went for it, man.
Derek, I have never gotten a Gatorade bath. I did the ice bucket challenge back in the day, and I know how that felt, but I knew it was coming. I can't imagine how that feels when you don't know that it's coming. Tell me about it. You got it last night, and you got it pretty good.
I actually lucked out because with the wind picking up, I put on my little windbreaker. So, you know, the windbreaker was able to absorb most of the water. So I kind of lucked out there, but it was a nice gesture by those guys. You know, it was our 8th graders who had been part of the program for 3 years. They wanted to do that. I know last year they wanted to get me with the Lockport 1-point victory, and I didn't let them. So, you know what I said? Let's just go for it, man. Let them have their fun. They deserve it.
Coach, talk about your defense. Last night I thought they were very, very impressive. And I got to give some credit to Nick, and I rarely do that. He said the team that was going to tackle better was going to win the game, and he was absolutely right. Your guys did a tremendous job of not letting them get to the outside on some of that motion that they like to do. Just talk a little bit about your defense and what they did. And then another thing, I guess a 2-part question. What was going through your mind the entire third quarter when they had the ball and just keeping your offense on the sideline?
So I'm going to answer your first part. Incredible job by our defense, like you said. And that is a huge credit to Coach Scott Chauvin and Coach Don Danos Jr. They handled the defensive operations for our team. And let me tell you, they came up with a great game plan. You know, they really did. I mean, I couldn't be more proud of those guys. But more importantly, man, our just defense as a unit. We were making tackles at all levels. People were doing a great job. They were in position. They didn't fall for the eye candy with all the motions and everything. And they played sound, you know, defensive assignment football. First thing you got to credit is our defensive line. I mean, those guys penetrate. They do a good job causing disruption and havoc in the backfield. I mean, Javen Allen is just a beast. He made quite a few tackles for loss in the backfield. And then we got linebackers like we have, you know, with Carter W., with Hayden Guidry, with Kylan Kiger. Those guys are kind of erasers if they do get past our defensive line. And then you look at our defensive backs. Maddox Veggs, a very good tackler. And you have Dwight Gilbo, who's probably pound for pound one of our best tacklers on the team. He might not be the biggest, but the guy is fearless, and he'll go make tackles. And then on the other cornerback, you have, you know, Kale Veg and Parish Champions came up big as well when Dwight Gilbo went out with an injury. Credit to those guys. They tackle very well. It's our best tackling group we've had in a long time down at Golden Meadow. So great job on the defense, the players, and the coaching staff. And then to answer your second question, that third quarter was painful, man. I mean, you go in that first half. I mean, it's a credit to the LCO football team and their coaching staff, man. They made great adjustments and they were able to move the ball. But what was really good though is they were able to move the ball, but we made them take a lot of time. It kind of benefited us. I felt like we were on it last night offensively with some explosive plays that we could get big chunk yardage, and them having to use a lot of time to score gave me confidence that if they had to get the ball again after we scored that second touchdown, that they might have trouble punching it in with that little bit of time they had left.
Second half game plan, was it simple? Just give it to Carter W. plays on.
You know, Coach Eastman in the press box got in my ear on the headset and he said, "Coach, beat our horse, man. Just give them the rock. Just give them the rock till they stop them." And I said, "You know what?" I said, that's a good idea. And that's what we did, man. Just gave him the ball on one of our favorite plays. We have that double dive, and it was just working. And decided, you know what? Looks like they're starting to pinch the inside a little bit. Let's try that crossbook, which is another one of our favorite plays. And again, Hayden Guidry made a great cut to the outside and scored. Great job by both of those backs, but more importantly, our offensive line, man. They continue to open holes for our explosive backs, and they get a lot of the credit. And also credit to Jacob Davis, too, for leading our offense, man. He does such an incredible job, and he was really in tune. He was mixing up the snap count and things like that, and did a great job.
Derek, one of the things that I always find interesting about middle school football is, like, look, the second that South Lafourche's season ends, BJ and his staff are having exit meetings, and they're starting to plan for the next season already. Middle school is a little different. You guys are going to take a little time off. The boys will go play basketball. You don't have like a football PE period where you're lifting weights or anything. So my question to you is, at what point do you start kind of transitioning into 2026 mode where you start figuring out what the roster might look like and making plans? And like, when does that transition happen for Derek Brunet?
I tell you what, it actually started happening last night. I'm looking at the roster.
There you go.
And I'm crossing out our 8th grade players and seeing who we have returning and who might play where. And I really got that from my mentor, Coach Brian Curall, man. We would do that in the parking lot after the last game of the season. We already started to talk that stuff, and he would call it putting the puzzle pieces together. So you start doing that a little bit. I mean, I didn't get truly in depth, but the coaching staff will probably take a week off to just be able to sit back, relax a little bit, and then we're going to get together and we're going to see, okay, look, this is what we should probably do for next year. Here's how the people returning fit what we may want to try to do next year. Here are some people that are on campus that didn't play ball that we need to try to get out and see where we could put them in places to help us be as effective as a team as possible. So we'll definitely be hitting the ground running, I'd say, probably next week with that.
Coach, going back to the game a little bit, and I'm not second-guessing anybody by any stretch of the imagination because you guys coach football. There's no way in the world that I could do what you guys do. Were you surprised that LCO's last possession that they punted?
I was. I truly was. But I could also see the flip side of it. Getting that far into your own territory, and I believe at that point, Coach Nessie had 2 timeouts left. So, I mean, man, if you get a negative play on first down, then you could get us, for minimum yardage on second down, call a timeout, make another stop on third down, call another timeout. You can maybe get the ball back. Then again, you wouldn't have had a whole lot of time on offense to score, and you weren't exactly getting a lot of explosive plays. But sure, I could see both sides of it. Again, like you said, I'm not going to second guess LCO's coaching staff at all. I mean, Coach Nessie's been doing it a darn long time, so he knows football and situational football very well. So, I mean, I see both sides of it.
Yeah, Nessie's definitely the godfather of DTB football. So I was curious about it whenever it happened. I know Casey mentioned it on the call, and I just wanted to get your opinion on it.
Well, I can tell you we were shocked, I'll be honest with you, because, I mean, we called our base defense, and we see their punter back there, and we're like, okay, let's get in our punt block, and maybe try to get it. See how the guys to shift, and shift and adjust our alignment.
Sitting in the stadium and watching, I was shocked as well. It was, I think, about 4th and 17 from maybe their 20 or so. Just to get off a good punt is one of the most difficult things in middle school football. So I was kind of surprised, but I could see what he was thinking, and he was hoping to, of course, get you to go 3 and out and have to punt back or maybe get a turnover or something. But trying to stop Carter Wayne plays on when he's just running right through the middle to run out the clock, that's pretty difficult.
I'll tell you, and going onto the field for that last possession for a second touchdown, he actually said, "Coach, give me the rock. Give me the rock. I'm not going to be stopped." I said, "All right, man, let's do it."
There you go.
He was right.
Yeah, he was right.
Get that boy on the football field at South Lafourche. Talk him into it. No hunting and fishing. He could do all that in the offseason. That boy needs to be playing some football.
We had some good talks about South Lafourche football today. I think that's the direction he's going to head. So I think Coach BG is going to have him a pretty explosive back for the next 4 years.
Hey, Derek, let me ask you this, just shifting gears a little bit. I'm sure you are aware of this because I think you listen to the show pretty regularly, but our guy Tommy is like a huge Baker Mayfield guy, has like the biggest Baker Mayfield card collection like in the world. And I know you're a huge Baker Mayfield fan, so I'm going to put you on the spot. Is Baker going to win MVP this year?
He was playing well. the whole Buccaneers offense kind of been off the past couple of weeks, starting with the Lions game and then the Saints game. They didn't play all that great, which was kind of shocking. But I'm going to say no. I think right now, if I had to pick an NFL MVP, I'd go with Jonathan Taylor.
Taylor.
Yeah, I'm a huge Colts fan, actually. That started when I was a little boy. Peyton Manning's my favorite football player. So I follow the Colts pretty closely. And Jonathan Taylor's just on a tear, man. Holy cow.
So now, because I know you follow this stuff real close, LSU no longer has Brian Kelly. They're flirting with all these different people, reportedly. The governor's getting involved. And if Derek Brunet could have it hit however Derek Brunet wants, and you were able to offer the job to anybody and they couldn't say no, who would be the next head football coach at LSU?
I mean, I'm going to say the obvious name. Everybody's telling him come out. Everybody's mouth would be the man himself, the GOAT, Nick Saban. You'd be a fool not to want the man to come and coach your program. But at 74 years old, wasn't really a big fan of the whole NIL thing going on. It's kind of why he got out. I don't see that happening. So choice B for me would be Lane Kiffin. The guy could recruit. The guy's going to have a explosive offense. And you can see what he's building at Ole Miss. So obviously he's a darn good coach. I think my third choice would be Oregon's coach Dan Lanning, but I don't see him leaving Oregon. They got deep pockets. I don't see them letting him out of their grasp.
I got one more question.
Oh, go ahead. I'm enjoying this. I love talking with you guys.
You should have came in, man.
Yeah, we're going to get you in studio one of these days.
Yeah, I really should have. I didn't have practice today, man. That was a mistake on my part.
Yeah, I got them all now.
Yeah, that's right. You got them all. That's right.
So Casey and I have this, and I don't know if it's a joke or there's some legitimacy to it, but you mentioned Coach Curall earlier, and we have this thought in our head that he was very angry when he got the first touchdown of the game. Is that true, or we just made that up?
No. Now, I'll tell you.
So there is something.
Get PO'd. Okay? I took over play calling with Coach Curall when I was in my 4th year at Golden Meadow. He would always tell me, Derek, the most important play of the game is the first 2-point conversion.
Say it like him.
Okay? You have to pick your best play call, Derek. Because if you score that first 2-point conversion, the other team cannot beat you. They can only tie you. And I can tell you right now, if we would not get that first 2-point conversion, I was getting a good butt chewing. I think one of the worst ones was actually the last time before last night that we had beaten LCO with Nick Coleman, Caden Angelette, and Colt DeCure, and Josh Mack as a 7th grader starting at quarterback. That was the COVID year, and I believe there are some renovations going on with the Salafouche press box, or something was going on that we couldn't use the Salafouche field. So we were at Central Lafourche. We had just scored. I believe it was Caden Angelette had just ripped a long run. And Cural's on the side yelling at me, Derek, your best player right here. Your best player right here. And actually, LCO was up at the time, 8-6. They'd gotten the ball first, just like we wanted. We won the toss. We deferred. They get the ball. And they were actually down that year. And we were surprised when they marched down our throats and scored. And we're like, okay, man, they got a little bit better, but we really good too. We explosive. We score, and he's yelling at me, best 2-point play. So we went into this formation where we'd shift people around, and we'd have 3 blockers right behind the guard and tight end, and we'd have a direct snap to Caden Angelette. And Caden Angelette gets direct snap, and he runs off tackle. He runs wide, and he gets to the corner of the end zone, and he sticks the ball out and hits the pylon. Well, the referee said he stepped out.
Uh-oh.
So, of course, I'm livid, yelling at the referee because, of course, from my point of view, Caden Angelette got in. So I'm yelling at the referees, man. They got fans yelling at me that they didn't get in or something. It was crazy. And so, obviously, the refs didn't want to hear what I had to say. They pretty much told me, hey, Brunet, you go to the sideline, man. We're right, you're wrong. And so I go to the sideline, and I look at Coach Curall, and he just has this look. If looks could kill, I'd have probably been dead. He was not happy with me, and he lit into me pretty good.
So there is something to that story.
Yeah,
you didn't just make it up out of thin air.
Yeah. No, he wasn't mad if we'd score first. He was mad if we wouldn't score that first 2-point conversion because
I see.
He's right.
For the record, last night, Golden Meadow scores on the first play of the game. Doesn't get the 2-point conversion.
Derek didn't get the 2-point conversion.
I did not.
Group chat podcast text in there. Golden Meadow screwed. Didn't get that 2-point conversion.
Yep.
And let me tell you, Carter W. was pissed that he didn't get in. He came to the sideline. He said, "Coach, I had a hole. I'm not happy." He said, "I got you next time." And I said, "Okay." And that's exactly who we gave it to on the 2-point conversion after the second touchdown on the same exact play. He said he wasn't getting denied.
Be honest. And look, we all love Coach Curel. We're not poking fun at all. But in those moments where you get stopped on a 2-point play or, you have a snap or a hold or whatever, you could still hear that voice in your headset. You got to be honest. You could still hear him. Even though he's not there, you could still hear him, and it's kind of influencing what you're doing, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I learned so much ball from the man. I mean, my goodness. I mean, that guy has so much knowledge. I tell you, my 7 years under him were absolutely wonderful. I loved coaching with Coach Curel. I learned so much under him. And from day one that I stepped on that campus, and he knew me just, from coaching in my first 2 years when I was still in college. I coached at LCO, so he knew me from there. And, I mean, he didn't really know me personally, but he took me under his wing from day one, and I learned so much from Coach Curel, and I'm so grateful for that time that I had under him. And, Coach Danos and I, we talk often at practice, like sometimes I'll say something that he would have said. Like, "Oh, Brunet, there you go, man. You sound like Curel." We had a lot of fun together, and I learned so much from him, and I'm so thankful for everything he did for me as a coach and helping put me in the position where I am today.
Yeah, Casey and I both think very, very highly of
yeah.
Curel. We know Curel knows ball, unlike Turtle. But we also know he is one of the most entertaining people on the planet, and it's a good yin and yang for him.
And, guys, Casey and Damien, y'all know this especially. A lot of times, he is one of the most entertaining guys I know, and he doesn't even try. That's just him. Yeah. He's naturally just hilarious with the way he talks and the way he said, the way he reacts to things, and it's great. But, man, we had so much fun with him, and like you said, sometimes I can still hear him in my head.
Derek!
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Derek, what were you thinking?
Goes to the fake pulling his hair out gimmick. I like that too.
With the visor.
Yep.
The visor. Put off the play sheet getting tossed. And like I said, I had so much fun with that, man. I miss him tremendously. I really do.
Good deal. Hey, man, congratulations on a big win. We thank you so much for the time. And we'll look, even though it's off season, we're going to have you on and just talk ball, man. It sounds like that you know your LSU and your Saints and all that good stuff. We'll have you on just to talk.
Yeah, sounds good. You know what? Next time, I'm going to take y'all up on it. I'm going to go in studio, man.
Come on by.
Have a good time with you guys.
Yep, come on by. Take care, good man. Be good.
All right, thanks, guys, so much. I appreciate y'all for having me on. Thanks.
Yep. That's good job, Brunet. We appreciate him so much. Great win for them last night, and man, you break the streak. You get that monkey off your back. First time those boys were able to beat LCO, and good on them for being able to make that happen. I thought it was pretty clear. I didn't know that Coach E's been kind of pumped it into the headset. It was pretty clear in the fourth quarter. They decided we're going to Carter Wayne over and over and over and over again, and he was getting yards. And then when LCO kind of caught wind of it, that's when they popped him with the counter run and were able to, go and get Hayden, and a little lightning and thunder action there. And that was awesome to see.
That was a good game on both sides. It was a really good football game in general. LCO did a lot of things well. They just couldn't get it in the end zone. And hey, I want to shout out, and I feel like I've been shouting this guy out the last couple of weeks, Howard McLean. He did a tremendous job punting the football last night. That was not something I was expecting. He did a good job.
Both punters did a very good job flipping field. We had talked about that earlier. The first time Golden Meadow punted, I leaned over to Claire and I said, I guarantee this is a fake. And just knowing how they think, and I don't know if that was in the cards for them, and they just decided to go with an actual punt because LCO didn't send anybody back to return or anything. But yeah, both punters, excellent job. The long snap to the punter is usually a disaster in middle school football.
Yep.
Flawless on both ends, good punts, flip the field, and really it set up the defensive game. Like each team would punt it away, flip the field, and their defense would make stops.
I thought it was two things that really set Golden Meadow for the win. When LCO scored, it was a short kick, gave Golden Meadow a short field. And when LaRose was trying to score on that last drive, I felt like, and I'm not second guessing anybody because you're good at what you're good at. I felt like it was a lot of movement and it took a lot of time, and I felt like they never got in the offensive groove. It's a good night for middle school football last night, man. I heard you guys talking on play-by-play. They were literally the talk of the town for every area. There was 3 really good games, all 3 portions of the parish, and great night for middle school football.
Look, and it's across the whole Bayou region because everybody in Lafourche was talking about it, and everybody in Terrebonne's like, man, why y'all don't play Vanderbilt? And so everybody there is talking about it also. Yeah, it was an unbelievable night. And look, I'll go ahead and share the post that we made about Lockport.
Every time we start talking about football, somebody's got to pull Vanderbilt out their ass.
49,000 views on a Lockport football post. Who would have ever thought that would get more than just a couple thousand? They were the real man. Everybody was fired up. Good on God.
I'll say it again. Go get your party on, bro. I'm sure they got a couple haters, but
a couple haters.
Go get your party on, man. You deserve it. Go get it. I'm glad Tommy's even repping the Golden Meadow today.
I'm wearing last time we're ever going to win a national championship thanks to Jeff Landry's shirt.
Has Golden Meadow ever had a parade when they won a parish title?
Have they won a parish title?
Yes, they have.
Oh, when I was in school with Brandon and Ian and them, we did have a parade. We did. Yeah, we absolutely did. From the Galana Bridge to Salafouche.
I did want to ask Coach Brunet that, and if he is still listening, my other question, I guess when he comes on the pod with us, is going to be, I'm looking to up that NIL next year, so I want to know who his studs are going to be. I wanted him to rattle off who 2 or 3 guys.
DeMarcus Barnes.
That dude was pretty good. That was a defensive end. But yeah, I mean, that was my only take. Obviously, I've never watched an LCO football game this year.
Ace, yeah.
But it just seemed. Yeah.
Shout out Ace.
It just seemed like all the little motion LCO did, like every play, Golden Meadow just didn't move. It's almost like, hey, we know if they're like lining up 3 heavy on this side, they're all coming on this side. So it's like they played base defense. They never got faked out. I thought that was some pretty decent
sleight
strategy.
of hand.
Sleight of hand to do what? Get -5. I mean,
to get Victor some extra steps in. The poor kid from one side of the line to the other.
We are going to make the effort. And look, we know like numbers and we've seen enough to know just enough to get ourselves in trouble, but we're going to try to do some middle school awards, but we got to make sure that we got everything situated. Like I could tell you the names of everybody on Golden Meadow and LCO. I could tell you most of the names on Lockport. We just want to make sure that we got all the names and all the rosters and everything situated. For Thibodaux, I know that one of their best players is, I believe, 3. He wasn't on my roster. I want to make sure we got that name. Like, we're going to get that situated. We're going to get you some middle school football awards. We want to make sure that we give our just due to those men on the field that were doing an awesome job.
We know just enough to piss people off.
Yeah,
the further
right.
north you go into Parish, going to be pissed off.
Yeah.
But that's something that we're going to bring next week, the Group Chat Podcast Middle School Awards. Tune in. We go live on Wednesdays if you're just tuning in, usually Wednesdays at about 6 p.m. So tune in next week and we will have middle school football awards.
There was a side group chat that if something happens and we were to win a parish championship this year, that Kyle would be booked to bring me around in his little trailer.
Well, that first and foremost, that'd be awesome. Secondly, I asked the question today. Well, you're going to know, so you got to keep it quiet. You listened to the radio show today. Y'all two, during the Kale era, parades, yes or no?
No way.
Y'all would both be wrong.
Wow.
He said football got a championship parade when they win parish.
Really?
Figured he just invited them all to his house for gratons and kettle corn or something.
No, you know how they got like that big horseshoe, the big street. They would line them up there, and they would drive them all around that little area every year when they win parish. During his run was just about every year. I was a little surprised.
You think he enjoyed that?
No, absolutely not. He thought it was the stupidest thing that they've ever been. Like kind of like when Nick Saban would get dumped by the Gatorade and he'd be livid. What, Moody? Why am I cold and wet? What's going on?
Miss Terry's gonna be pissed.
Just ready to go to the next season.
You think Nick Saban ever said Moody?
Moody Diab, Gatorade, get that off of me.
Brian Kelly ever said that?
The wizard.
His Washington D.C. firm coached him. You gotta start talking like, throw a Moody and a Chad.
Well, I tried to say family. That didn't work.
And that's all for us tonight. Hope everybody enjoyed tonight's show. We will be back next week. I don't know that it'll be as crazy of a week as this past week was, but if it is, we'll be ready for it. Congratulations again to Lockport, and you guys have a safe and wonderful weekend.
And as always, go Tarps, and God bless America.
Welcome to the show, this the group chat sound. Down the bayou where the light shine proud. Golden Meadow, the roast, Thibodaux fight. E.D. White, 6 war, bringing heat tonight. Bayou Blue, Lockport, line it up strong. Middle school grind where the future belongs.